What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your buddy AK here for another YouTube video. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about my opinions on the November patch. I recently played, as you can see on my video list, my upload history, etc., that I played on the CTE, where they had the updated November patch. Although it was still a work in progress, I wanted to share with you my thoughts and opinions on it, as that's apparently what people do on YouTube. Apologies if I come across a bit weird. I am autistic, so I might say and do things that are a bit weird. I'm not trying to play the disabled card. I'm just saying I'm a bit odd, so bear that in mind. So, AK, why don't you like the new movement system? Well, a bit of exposition. The beta of Battlefield 1 that we played was superb. I utterly enjoyed the beta. The beta gave me an insight into what a Battlefield game could be. Bearing in mind that the games I played up until this point, Battlefield title-wise, I've pretty much played every single Battlefield that's ever existed on the PC and on the console. And the thing that I found from most Battlefields is that the games play relatively the same. They feel the same. When Battlefield 3 came out, it was a game changer. It was almost like my sort of zenith had returned. And the movement system in Battlefield 3 was utterly superb, I thought at least. And I especially liked the bunny hopping around and jumping about the place, which was something that I learned to do and learned to love exceptionally well. And then Battlefield 4 came along, and the movement system changed a little bit. It didn't feel as fast and as responsive as Battlefield 3 did, so it took me a while to get used to. As unfortunately, that's how my brain works. I have to get used to something. So after a while, it's really hard for me to. Not after a while. Sorry, it's hard for me to get into a game. It takes me a while to learn the mechanics of the game and learn how to play the game properly. And the thing I liked about Battlefield 1 rather, was that it seems very much like Battlefield 3 in terms of its fluidity, its movement style. It was very fast-paced and frenetic, but not to the point where it was almost like a Call of Duty. Like, I played Black Ops 3, and I wasn't a huge fan of the multiplayer. I preferred the zombies aspect of the game, and in the zombies aspect, the movement system worked quite well, because you could slide across the floor and you could chain those slides and sort of basically like slide around the map like some sort of crazy slug on acid. But the thing that I really like about Battlefield 1 is the sliding mechanic. As you can see in the footage behind me, I'm playing on front lines, back to basics. I think it's possibly one of the greatest game modes I've ever played, back to basics. Well, front lines as well, but I think back to basics really adds to it. It makes it more frenetic, even though it's slower paced somewhat because everyone's got similar weapons. It means that everyone's on the same playing field.
We're moving out, let's go!
So if you're a good player, you can really do well in the game. Now, as you can see, I am using the slide a lot, okay? Now, there are lots of people, as I've read on the Reddit, that don't like the slide. They hate the slide. They think people who slide around like crazy snakes and slugs on acid are annoying and they can't hit them. Now, my biggest gripe with this argument is that if the people who are complaining that they can't hit things are playing on PC, which we all know as console peasants, I hate that terminology, that the PC master race, which I also hate that terminology as well.
Over there's an enemy shock trooper!
I'm just going to digress a bit here. We're all gamers, we like playing video games. Does it really matter what we play games on? No. Bragging rights are just people who have inflated self-egos. But anyway, I digress. The main point was that people don't like slide. They think it's cheap. They don't like the fact people can slide in and out of cover and avoid
Enemy shock trooper!
people trying to shoot you. I can slide around a rock, I can then slide around a tree, I can then slide around another rock, and I can avoid all of your bullets. Now, DICE originally said that the slide was supposed to be used as a defensive mechanism, okay? To evade bullets, and that is exactly what it is being used
Enemy
for.
medic over there!
Now, there is an issue on PC of something called AD spam, which is where you step from side to side, or strafe from side to side, because on a keyboard A and D are your strafe left and right, okay? So they tap those buttons and it's like beep bop, beep bop, beep bop, and you're stepping from side to side. Again, I never understood why PC gamers complain about this, because you have a mouse, which is supposed to be the superior way of aiming. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but thumbsticks are a lot harder to use, hence why they have aim assistance. But I'll get to that at another stage. That's for another video entirely.
Come on, back me up!
I'm getting ahead of myself here, and I need to digress a lot. That's the problem with my brain. I don't want to sound terribly up my own arse, but I tend to think quickly. So lots of different ideas pop through my head at the same time, and it's really hard to hold one down and sort of focus. Hence why I need to digress a lot. So again, apologies, I digress. Going back to the beta of Battlefield 1, the beta felt so different. It felt so... I don't know if you heard that. My headset has an auto shutdown feature. You might have heard an American lady saying, "Shut down, disabled." Kind of irritating. Anyway, again, I digress. The beta was so different to any Battlefield that I had ever played.
Thank you!
I was enthralled. It had a unique movement system that was completely different to any other game I had played up until that point. It still felt very much like a Battlefield game. The way that team play was involved, and vehicles, and large maps, even though the maps in Battlefield 1 aren't actually as big as the maps in, say, Battlefield 3, for instance. Some of the maps in Battlefield 3 were. They were big.
Pick up a shock trooper!
And apparently, originally, DICE didn't want to have the slide to be able to be sort of spammed as it is. They wanted to have something completely different. But when I played the beta and the game was so different and so unique, it drew me in. And as I've played the game and I've gotten used to it and I've gotten so...
Let's get moving, boys!
Like, my muscle memory is perfect.
Come on,
I
fellas,
can
let's move!
slide around and I can avoid shots, I can slide around corners, I can slide through doorways. I just feel like some sort of super ninja slug. It is ridiculous. Things that I can do. I can do a slide and do a complete 360 while sliding. And I don't see why that is an issue. I do not understand why everybody hates this. Surely the people that dislike it are the people who can't cope with it. So I just wanted to put across my opinion that I don't think the slide should be removed. Well, the slide can be nerfed, okay? But I don't think the movement system itself should be changed. All DICE need to do is include some form of a cooldown on the actual slide itself, so you can only slide once every so many seconds, and that would solve all of the problems. In the CTE, what they've been doing is trying to change the movement system as a whole, change the entire thing, so that there are different values that make up different aspects. So, like for instance, if you stood still for a certain amount of time, you get a bonus sort of movement speed to your character for a small amount of time, so you can sort of get off and move quickly. The movement system is fine the way it is. It doesn't need to be altered. All that needs to be changed, if anything, is a cooldown on the slide. I hope DICE are watching this, because I really enjoy the game and I love the way it plays out. And all of the times I've had a chance to play it on the CTE, it's played really clunky. It's felt horrible and clunky and lethargic and sluggish and not good. It just doesn't come across as a well-polished game. It comes across like something that, I don't know, somebody had modified a game of Half-Life or something and created their own mod, and it just feels laggy and horrible. Anyway, that's my rant about the movement system. I hope you enjoyed the video at least. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I will attempt to upload more videos like this. I'm just not very good at sort of explaining myself or talking about stuff. It's very awkward for me, so I will try to get more of these out. As always, thank you for watching, and I shall see you in the next iteration. Goodbye everybody, and this time I don't need to worry about turning off the live stream. Fantastic.